Hello, welcome to Local Lives. Today I'm joined with Pat from Pat's Ribbon Skirts and Crafts and her daughter Jona from T&T Dreamcatchers. If you wouldn't mind, do you think you could share a little bit about yourself and your story?
Hi, I'm Patricia. My story began 2007 when I moved to Calgary. Um, I never started my business until 2019.
Hi, I'm Jona. I started this business in 2016, so we're going close to 7 years. Um, yeah, it's all started actually when me and her were walking through Michael's. So I saw a Dreamcatcher kit and bought it, was curious. I had lost my father in 2015, so that can be very self-destructing, and I needed a different way to express myself, and that's kind of where it all started. Was that, and I found when I was doing the web that I got like a sense of calm and a sense of peace through that. So I just kept making them, and at the beginning I would just kind of give them all away to friends and family and stuff, and then one of my aunties I think says, no, I'm paying for it, and I met another girl who invited me to my first market, and then it just snowballed from there.
So it's been a place of healing.
Yes, I would say so. Yes.
Now, Pat, I'm wondering, when did your creative journey begin?
Mine began, well, I started 2019. I didn't really get into the market until I've done one market with her, and then she told me to get out on my own because I was kind of scared to go into the market scene. But yeah, about 2019. First, I was sewing for a lady who had her own business open on the Tessina Reserve, but she's recently closed down. And then I just decided, well, okay, I'll go out and start showing what I can do. Yeah, then I've only been doing it for a couple of years so far. So
She does very
after
well.
a hard time from working in the warehouse to just sitting at home and sewing and beading.
Quite the change.
Yeah.
You enjoyed the change?
It took me a while because I'm so used to working hard, like 12-hour shifts and stuff. But now it's still a 12-hour shift. But here I can sit down, right?
Your own boss too, hey?
Yeah, I'm my own boss, which is good.
So, what is a ribbon skirt?
Well, ribbon skirt is made from fabric and added colorful ribbons on it. Some of them, they're usually for cultural identity, but now through the westernizing, like a lot of people wear them now for ceremonies and other, maybe weddings, graduations, stuff like that.
I know you have a couple here. What kind of shirt is this?
This is a Four Directions ribbon shirt for men. A lot of them like to make orders, and I like to use a lot of the Four Direction colors, just to I show identity of who I am and my culture.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Now, I'm wondering, where would you like to see Pat's Ribbon Skirts and Crafts go in the future?
Well, I'm hoping to get my granddaughters to start learning what I do, so in case, my health or whatever, at least it'll carry on through them and stuff, I'm not sure if I really want to take it more out of the market, but just to keep it the way it is right now.
Just enjoying it?
Yeah, just to enjoy the people ordering them and not really getting too businessy, like in stores or.
Keeping it fun.
Yeah.
Now, Jona, how has it been to, help your mother through this business journey, but to learn from her as well as a teacher?
It's honestly, I've enjoyed it to watch. Going from us just sharing a table to her being fully out on her own. She, outsells me most of the time. So it's been, for me, it's been enjoyable. when COVID happened, that disconnected a lot of people, and nobody really went out, and us two, we didn't get to see each other very much. So now that we get to go to the, we do a lot of the same markets, and often everybody knows we're mother and daughter, so they always pair us together, just beside each other at the same tables, and it's been very joyful for me to watch her just go out there and do it, kill it every time.
Well, I notice you have quite a few dream catchers here. Could you tell us a little bit about them?
Yeah, these are like our more, like, we like to say that we took that traditional concept and put a modern twist on it, because I don't like the idea of selling something traditional. So this is kind of the stuff that we make. As you can see, it's not quite the traditional look. We use a lot of ribbon, and there is some leather, like this one here is made of leather. And yeah, we do just use the best we can and get as creative as we can. Yeah, I like to use a lot of bright colors. We use a lot of different kinds of materials. A lot of the time, some friends had given us, like these old bags of like old jewelry, so we take them apart and repurpose them and put them inside the centers of the webs and stuff like that. So as you can see, they're all quite different. The last 7 years we've been operating, we have yet to make the same dream catcher twice. So
Holy smokes.
yeah, so everything we've ever made is pretty unique.
Wow. So what is the story behind T&T Dreamcatchers?
Yeah, like I said before, like it just kind of just grew on its own. And when I started doing it, like I didn't really intend for it to be a business, and it just kind of just happened, right? But like this is something that I'm very passionate about, and you can see that in a lot of my work. I put a lot of time and detail into like everything that I do with this. So in the past few years, we've expanded a little bit, so we're looking to kind of just keep going down that road to kind of see how far it can actually take us. So, and I'm hoping that one day that, my daughters will want to take over and, keep going with it. All of my kids are very creative, so.
I kind of gave her the name for the T&T because her daughter's initials are T&T.
Oh, wow.
Tegan and Talia, so that's where we went T&T.
Yeah.
That's pretty special. How is it to watch your daughter embark on this journey?
I think she's doing really good, and it tears me up when I see her doing a lot of business. Like, she has a lot of her stuff across Canada, so just like I'm very proud of her to be getting all her stuff out like that. Plus going to school.
How important is it to pass on these teachings to the next generation?
For me, it's this is a part of our culture. The Dreamcatcher has been with Indigenous people from beginning, I guess. And like my daughters, they grew up in the city, so they don't really know what it's like to be on reserve. They didn't really grow up in that like traditional sense. So they're very used to the city, and this is kind of a way to keep us connected to who we are, from our history and everything. So for me, it's very important. All my children, they know the story, and they know the concept of the Dreamcatcher. They can't quite get the webbing down quite yet, but yeah, they help me with all of this. They help pick colors and everything like that. So for me, it's very important that they know who they are. Especially living in the city as an Indigenous person can often be hard. So yeah.
Thank you. What about you, Pat?
I think like if the children would continue doing what I'm doing, it kind of keeps us to who we are, to identify who we are and where we're from, and just to continue keep doing that from generation to generation.
Thank you. You've touched briefly on what is a dream catcher. Could you share a little bit more about that?
Yeah. So different tribes have different stories, but all of like the endings of the stories they come up to be the same values, right? So traditionally, it would have been done out of red willow and sinew, like real sinew, which is made out of animals. So, and it was a way for mothers to protect their children from, like the bad dreams, bad energy. My favorite story, I guess, is from like our people back in the southern parts of Saskatchewan, is where we're from, and. Yeah, it starts with an elder who's sitting there and he's praying, and he has a vision. And Iktomi is this trickster. He comes down in spider form to the elder, and he starts speaking to him, and he starts telling him, he starts weaving a web in this willow hoop that he had, and he's talking to the elder, and he starts talking about the different phases of life. You know, when you're an infant to, you know, you're a child to adulthood, and then back to an elder, or back to an older person where you need to be cared for once again, right? So that's the circle, you know, because circle is very important to Indigenous people. Like, a lot of the values are around that concept. Trickster guy is talking to the elder, and he's talking about, you know, talking about the different forces of life that everybody must come to. So there's good forces and there's bad forces, and, you know, it's up to you which forces you're going to follow. So if you follow the good forces, will lead to good things, and if you follow the bad forces, it could lead to potentially bad things and harmful. Yeah. So, and then he gives the willow hoop back to the elder, and he says, use this for your people to help them follow their dreams and help them follow these good forces so they have good lives. So, and that's just where it started from.
Thank you. Now, how important do you think it is to support Indigenous artists who create these instead of non-Indigenous?
Oh, that's a big question. You know, in Canada, there's no such laws that protect artists right now from, you know, people profiting off of our culture. And, you know, for me anyway, I find that to be more than like unfair. You know, you're profiting off of somebody else's culture and not really giving them any kind of recognition. I know there's a lot of products and items out there that are claimed to be Indigenous that are like made in China and all of that type of stuff. So I think it's important to support one another and to, you know, show who we are as people. And yeah, we're actually embarking on trying to take back some of that market within our business. So we're actually expanding into, you know, trying to replace some of those products with actual Indigenous products from Indigenous companies and stuff. So I'm a big supporter on supporting other Indigenous entrepreneurs.
Absolutely. Do you have any advice for any Indigenous who are looking to become entrepreneurs?
Just do it. Like, it's scary, but you know what? Anything that scares you is good, right?
Just keep trying to do what you think you want to do, like sewing or beading or webbing, or, you know, and if that's not right, then just go to another thing to do, or do loom work and stuff like that. It takes a lot of time and practice, but in the long run, you'll be very proud of yourself.
Thank you.
Just keep doing.
Yeah. Running a business is hard and it's a lot of work. So, but in the end, it's worth it, I think.
Rewarding.
Yes, very much.
Thank you. Pat, how long have you been sewing and beading for?
When I was younger, like say 8 to 10, I kind of did my own regalia, taught by my grandmother, and then I discontinued doing it until I moved here in Calgary. I moved to Calgary 2007. Then I just did it off and on. I made my kids, when they were younger, I made them clothes and stuff like that. So this is kind of like something I like doing all the time. But back when I was younger, like, I didn't sell stuff. I just made them and gave them away and stuff, you know, till I see everybody else doing the same thing, but them profiting. So I said, okay, I'm jumping on that wagon too. Yeah, they haven't been doing it too long since I've been here. Maybe 2017 or 18 when I started. So, yeah, something like that. Yeah, till now. Yeah.
Yeah, she came with me to my first market, and you know, she often comes in and helps me and stuff like that. And then it's been an incredible journey so far.
Lots of fun.
Yeah. So it's a lot of work, like, you know, trying to prepare and get enough, and you know, you never know what's kind of gonna sell and what's not, and you know. So, but you know, I like the process, but it does get very time consuming.
Do the two of you have a favorite piece you've ever made?
I made a favorite piece of, it was a medallion that looked like a bear claw. So that was my favorite piece, but I sold it. I didn't want to sell it, but I sold it. Because a lot of people were after it, so I said, okay, I'll sell it. So I got to maybe make some more of those. Yeah.
I would say my favorite piece, yeah, us two, we sold it, and like I said, I didn't get to get a picture of it, and it was a collaboration actually that me and my fiance did together, and it was a triple one with made all in leather, and like just the way everything hung down it with the feathers, it was all like natural colors like beiges and browns and stuff like that, so it was very incredible. But yeah, we sold that one. That one sold quite fast, so.
How much fun was it to collaborate with your fiance?
It's good. Everything that we've ever collaborated on is gone, right? So it's he does really good work with the webbing, and you know I do because I put so much detail into like the finishings and stuff like that. So we work really well together. Yeah. And he's very creative as well. So.
Do the two of you have any advice for any young Indigenous who are looking into getting into creating or sewing and beading?
I would say just give it a try. If you don't like it, then move on to something.
Yeah.
It's going to make you happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the vendor community, like everybody is so nice. You'll get to know like a lot of the people because you see a lot of the same people at the same shows and stuff like that. And you know,
Help each
everybody,
other.
yeah, everybody is so helpful and they're all good. You know, ask questions and you know, a lot of people like to give advice and you know, tell their stories and stuff like that. And it's, you know, I always have a good time when I go to different shows and stuff like that and seeing everybody and you know what they've been up to and all of that. So it's nice. It's nice to, you know, have that sense of community.
Like big family now. As soon as we see each other, we're like talking,
Yeah.
joking with each other, and sharing each other's products. Sometimes we trade and, you know, pass our stuff on to them, and it's nice.
In what other ways are you involved in the community here in Calgary?
Not so much with our business, but myself and my family, my daughters, we, once a year, we gather like food or clothes or stuff like that and give it to the homeless people.
We did moms one year.
We
New
did.
moms, we got a bunch of baby stuff together, made baskets and handed them to new moms. And
Yeah,
first year we did fruit.
we did
Fruit baskets for
fruit baskets for the mothers that, single mothers that need food for their children.
yeah. So that's been going on.
And we also did the 20 purses filled with products for the homeless women.
Wow.
Yeah, and we handed them out downtown, and
Yeah, like toiletries in it and scarves and
yeah,
stuff like
mitts
that.
and socks and stuff like that. And then recently we just did 20 more bags for the
Men.
for men and women,
Mhm.
and we put like gift cards and stuff in there for them to have hot food and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we try to help as much people as we can do to him being homeless. And
To jump to a new point, what has been your biggest inspiration creatively?
I think being like a lot of this came from like one of the reasons why I kept going was from my time at Mount Royal, which I went to school there recently, and when I first started there, it was such a different feeling because we grew up in Saskatchewan. It's like a lot of the times that you get stuck in those ways of thinking that you can't do something, and so being there opened my eyes to being like, you know what, we can actually be more than who people say we can be, right? So a lot of that came from a lot of learning that I did there, which kind of expanded into like me pushing myself forward with this business, knowing that like, oh, there's bigger things out there and there's like a different place, like I don't have to be stuck, so that was kind of like my biggest inspiration, is being like a lot of people that I met through there, or and very encouraging and stuff. So like a lot of the stuff that I've done and reasons why I kept going forward was a lot because of my mother and the things I've learned and through Mount Royal. So
I have no inspiration. I was just gonna say, all her dream catching stuff, I haven't taught her any of that stuff. She taught herself on that. So yeah, the only thing that I'm taught her a little bit is how to do the beading, but I haven't really taught her how to do any of the other stuff. So that's all on her own. So my inspiration is like just seeing her keep doing her stuff.
Thank you. Self-taught, hey?
Yeah.
yeah, I'm a big researcher. I like to research different things, and if I don't know something, I research it. So yeah, some of this stuff, especially we do stuff like this. Well, my mom did help me with the beading with that, with anything that we do that's beaded, which I didn't really bring too much of that, but yeah, everything else is just kind of stuff that I've looked up, and I did a lot of extensive research behind like the Dreamcatcher stories and stuff like that, which on our website tells some different stories from the different nations. So yeah.
Well, thank you. It's been such a pleasure having the two of you. Just wondering if there's anything else you'd like to share?
I just want to share that I'm not originally from Calgary, Alberta. I'm originally from the White Bear First Nation. That's where my hometown is.
Kuya Hoktunga, I am grateful. Juana, thank you for being a part of Local Lives.